Hey guys, my name is Richie, and today's video is not gonna be a vlog. Well, I mean, it is kind of like a vlog, but it's gonna be more of like a rant because, uh, you know, lately I've been reading a lot of stuff online on the internet, and I just read like an article, and I mean, I didn't realize it because I didn't read any like, I only read like a few like reviews and stuff about Titanfall for the Xbox One, and I saw some articles and stuff, and I didn't realized it until I actually went to Amazon and Metacritic and see the scores, and it's crazy because I guess like a whole bunch of people are leaving like false reviews on Titanfall just because they hate the game and they're I want to say like people. I should be more specific. Sony people, or I should say phonies, because people have been giving them that label, phonies since they kind of gave Microsoft Xbone. So I guess the word for them is going to be phonies. But yeah, you know what? I am tired of this console war crap bullshit stuff. Like seriously, like I don't understand like what the hell's wrong with PlayStation players. Like they talk so much shit. Like what the hell? Like they just want to bash Xbox so bad. Like come on, seriously? Like see, this is one of the reasons why I love the Xbox more, because usually on the Xbox you tend to deal with more mature people, and I'm referring to like I'm not gonna say Call of Duty because you always bump into those little immature kids, but Xbox always tended to be like a more like mature console because it had like a lot of like rated M games, and there's a lot of shooting games. And on the PlayStation, yeah, they have like shooting games and stuff too, but if you were a very big shooter game, like a first person shooter gamer, you would either play it on the Xbox or you would play it on PC because yeah, I'm not gonna go on PC because I don't know that much about PC. I mean, I have a good PC, but I just can't play first-person shooter games on it. I'm just not that good with mouse and keyboard with it. Sorry, I'm just gonna go back in this console war. But yeah, just I hate seeing all this like negative feedback, especially from like Sony people. Like they talk so much shit. Like seriously, like why don't you just shut the fuck up and just play your damn PlayStation 4 that has no good games to play on right now? And you guys are just pissed off because Titanfall is on the Xbox One and the Xbox 360 and PC and stuff. But I am tired of this bullshit, guys. You PlayStation guys who's been bashing Titanfall this time. I bet when Titanfall 2 comes out, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be multi-platform, you guys gonna be like, "Oh, Microsoft lost another exclusive. This game's awesome. It's better because it's on the PS4." You know what? Watch. You guys are gonna be like some two-faced motherfuckers. I swear to God. When the game comes out, Titanfall 2, I'm gonna assume it's gonna be like in 2 years or three, that you guys are gonna be like, you guys are gonna like I said, you guys are gonna be like two faces, and you're like, oh, the game was awesome. We were just like making fun of Sony, I mean, not Sony, because we were just making fun of Microsoft because we didn't have the game or whatever. But yeah, I just hate, I am it just all you Sony, or I should say phonies. Uh, you guys make the Sony brand look bad, or I should say PlayStation bad. PlayStation brand look bad, and it's ridiculous. I have love for both consoles. I don't have a PS4 yet. I played it. It's pretty cool. But I don't like I mean, I can't play first person shooter games on the console, on the PS4. I can't. I'm so used to the Xbox. Like, it all started with Halo 1. I played it on the Xbox, the original Xbox. And, I just fell in love with it. And I play a lot of first person shooter games. So I'm going to stick with the Xbox One for shooting games. I don't care. Eventually down the line, I will get a PS4, but it's not gonna be for shooting games. It's gonna be for like Last of Us 2, other sequels, maybe Uncharted if there's another Uncharted. But I don't play. I don't plan to buy first-person shooter games on the PS4. I don't I don't like the controller, and I've always been stuck with the Xbox. The Xbox is the perfect controller, and that's just my preference, and I just hate seeing all this negative feedback. I know I do understand when Microsoft announced their strict DRM features and stuff. I was like hesitant. I was kind of like freaking out too. I was like, you know what? I am not gonna buy the Xbox. I'm just gonna wait because I knew that Microsoft received a whole bunch of negative feedback on it. And I knew they were going to change their policies, so I was like, I'm just going to hold back a little bit and see if they're going to reverse the policies and stuff, because Microsoft is known to change the Xbox like OS or operating system multiple times. Like look at the Xbox 360 dashboard; it has evolved dramatically throughout the years. It went from the Blade system to now. I think it's called the Metro. I have no idea what the new dashboard is called, but it went through so many phases, so I know it's easy for them to fix it, and they're a software company. Now, Sony, I mean, so that's why I'm sticking with the Xbox. Uh, oh crap, I have my Xbox on this thing, so I'm talking to it. Uh, but yeah, I am just tired of this whole war, PlayStation 4 against the Xbox One. And then, you know what? I don't understand. If you are a phony, I'm not saying PlayStation gamer because, if you're a PlayStation gamer, you have your respect for, competition. You respect the Xbox One, and like I said, I'm neutral. I have love for both. But I don't appreciate this negative. I should say negative, but false negative reviews on video games that are not on your console. And you're just talking shit because you want the score to be down because it's an Xbox One game, and for some reason, anything that's labeled Xbox One, you guys just want to attack it and make it look bad. And I mean, it's horrible, and it's sad. And you make, you know, I'm a consumer. I buy a lot of stuff online and I read a lot of reviews. And, I mean, I don't just read one review source. I like multiple times, especially if I'm buying something really expensive. And like seeing this, it's really pathetic. You phony guys, like, seriously, you're going to write a false negative review. I mean, I can understand if you don't like the game. But if you're just bashing it because it's not in your console, like the PS4, come on, mature up, man. You guys are just making PlayStation gamers look bad. And I know I know I sound really bad and stuff. It's just this is how you guys sound. You guys sound very pathetic, and it's sad. It is really sad. You make us gamers look bad. Come on, like seriously, mature up. It's the year 2014, and you still gotta act like this on the internet, hiding behind a screen, talking shit. And the thing is, like I make reviews, and I never lie about my reviews. I am honest. If I don't like the game, I'll talk shit. Like I bash on Call of Duty a lot, and I mean I'm not like I do love the story, the campaign stuff, but I always have problems with the multiplayer because sometimes the multiplayer doesn't live up to my standards. Like I love Modern Warfare 2. Like I had so many good memories in that game. That's why maybe that's why I love it so much than the other Call of Duty games. I mean, the other Call of Duties did make some improvements and stuff, and now I'm probably get bashed on because I mentioned Call of Duty, but it's just I don't write false reviews. If I don't like it, I will say why and give you my honest opinion. Like I won't bullshit it because It's not. I'm not gonna make a false negative review on Last of Us because it didn't come out on the Xbox 360. I'm like, oh, this game sucks, blah 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 blah, and just give it like a 1 star, a 1 star out of 5 or a 1 out of 10. I wouldn't do that shit. Like seriously, that game. I mean, even though I didn't play the whole game, I played a little bit of it, but I read like a whole bunch of reviews, and it seemed really good. It looks really good. And I don't appreciate like you phony guys like writing false negative reviews, especially from a person coming like me. Like I said, I read reviews online all the time, and to see this, you are basically like misleading consumers that are planning to buy the game. And it's sad. It's really pathetic. I mean, it's sad and pathetic. And yeah, you guys are just making the PlayStation 4 brand look bad, and it's getting kind of old, guys. You Sony phony guys, whatever. Every time there's an Xbox One game announced, you guys tend to bash it. You're like, oh, it's not going to support 1080p full 1080p HD, true HD. Like seriously, like I don't give a fuck. I don't care if it's 1080p or 720p, as long as the game looks fucking amazing. As long as it looks nice and it plays good, it is okay with me. Look at the Xbox One. I say Xbox One, Xbox 360. Both Halo 3 and Halo Reach both ran under. It was like below 720p, and those games look really, really good. And look at Halo 4. Halo 4 ran at 720p. That was like the first 720p Halo game, and that game looked really, really good. And guess what? It was 720p. It wasn't 1080p, and I know, it's the new, next gen console stuff. Oh, actually, it's current gen now, but you know, like a lot of people still talk so much shit. And look at Dead Rising 3. Dead Rising 3 is one of my favorite games so far on the Xbox One. I mean, yeah, the graphics are not like whoa, super mind blowing and all that, but it's a good game. It's a good game. The gameplay, you know, is way fun. I mean, I don't like I said, the graphics like okay and stuff, but the world is more expanded. There's more zombies in the world, and it's fun. And you know, I don't, you know, it's just I'm not really worried about the 1080p stuff, you know. And I know you guys are like you phony guys are gonna be like, oh, you're just saying that because you have an Xbox One. I don't care. I don't care. As long as the gameplay is good and it looks good, I'm okay with it. Okay. And here's another problem too. If you want to set the, I don't care about the frames per second, but as long as it's consistent. I don't like the I don't like the drops. And one game I'm going to mention is Battlefield. I haven't played Battlefield 4 on the Xbox One, but I did play Battlefield 3 on the Xbox 360. I was never a huge fan of the frame drops. You know, I think they ran at 30 frames per second, but didn't run in 30 frames per second consistent. You know, like it would drop. Like you can notice, like sometimes you're running and you see the frames drop. I don't like that. You know, so one thing, like that's the only thing I'm worried about. Like is the frames per second. If you want it 30 frames per second, keep it consistent. Don't make it drop. I don't want no frames drop because it kind of ruins the experience. And Halo always had a consistent 30 frames per second. And you know if it's 60 frames per second now, like all right, just keep it consistent, or you know it could dip below whatever, but not make it noticeable while playing the game. Because for example, Battlefield 3 on the Xbox 360, it's very noticeable when the frames drop. So that's the only thing I'm worried about. The frames per second, because sometimes developers are trying to push for 60 frames per second for a game that doesn't really need it, or it's not going to really benefit from that feature. So I'm just like, it's crazy. Like first person shooter games, I can understand having a game with 60 frames per second, but like not every game should have 60 frames per second, you know? Like I think 30 frames per second is good. Um, like for example, I'm gonna say if another Mass Effect game come out, I mean, if another Mass Effect game came out, I'm okay for 30 frames per second. You know, I don't think that kind of game, you know, needs 60 frames per second. You know, or for example, Watch Dogs. I believe Watch Dogs doesn't run at 60 frames per second, but it runs on 30 frames per second. I'm good with that. I believe it's 30 frames per second. If I'm wrong, just let me know in the comments below. But I'm pretty sure it's 30 frames per second. I can understand. You know, it's basically gonna be like kind of like a Grand Theft Auto game in a way. Um, but it's gonna be better, of course. Well, in my opinion, you know, don't bash me now. You know, you phony guys. They're like, well, you're just saying that because it's not. I mean, on the Xbox One, it's not gonna be 1080p. But yeah, like I said, the first person. I mean, the frames per second doesn't like really impact me as long as it's consistent. If they want to hit 30, okay, as long as it's consistent 30 frames per second, there's no drops. And if it's 60, okay, if you want a 60, then please don't drop below like 30 or something, you know, and it's going to be noticeable like Battlefield 3 on the Xbox 360, you know. So I yeah, sorry for this long rant. It's just I just been having this in my head. Like every time I go in the YouTube comments or I'm just looking at other stuff, all I see is the phony guys, Sony, PlayStation 4, phony guys, whatever, just bashing the Xbox One like consistently. I'm just like reading it and I'm like, wow, seriously. I'm trying to like see comments related to the video and all I see is like talking shit. I'm like, come on, man. Like I want to. You see, this is one reason why I kind of avoid reading reviews sometimes. Like I'll read reviews from like certain people that I know of, like people that I can rely on. But you, like I said, you phony guys, you guys are making game reviews very complicated for other consumers that are not on the internet all the time, and by them seeing your false negative review, they're gonna like be misleaded and not buy the game, which is hurting other companies. And I just, like I said, you guys are pathetic and sad. Um, yeah, and yeah, just I'm tired of this console war. I mean, I know competition is cool and all, whatever, but come on, seriously, false negative reviews for Titanfall? Come on, if you've played the game and you're a huge first-person shooter game You should like the game because the game is really really fun, and there's no games out there kind of like it. It's different. The gameplay is, like I said, I don't know if you guys saw my review of Titanfall, but it's a mixture between like Halo. Okay, it's it's a mixture between Halo, Mirror's Edge, and Call of Duty. And the thing is, it's crazy because you're doing all these things that kind of feel like Halo 2, like back in the Halo 2 days. And like, I don't believe those reviews are like 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 10. Like, seriously, I can understand if you want to give it like a 7. Like, if you want to give it a 7 out of 10, but anything below a 7, like, I don't understand why. And if you're talking about, and if part of your review is campaign, they've said this multiple times. The game does not have a campaign. And I mean, they say like in some ways it has kind of like a little campaign, but they don't have like a separate mode specifically for like a full campaign. Like I'm talking about like a campaign like Call of Duty or Halo or Gears of War. They don't have its own official campaign. It's kind of like a mix between campaign and multiplayer. But I knew that going in, and if you're a gamer, you should have read some of this stuff before you bought the game. So I don't understand why people got mad or whatever, but everyone should have known that because it's been like advertised everywhere. Even though that's probably one of the reasons why I kind of gave like a little. I think I gave the game like an 8 out of 10 or 8.5 out of 10. I'm not really sure, but one of the reasons why it was kind of like disappointing was because first there's no private matches. This is before they announced that they were going to add it later. Then the ability to choose a map didn't have that feature. Like something's like, do you want to play in this map or do you want to play in this map? Press R bumper or select the box. They don't have that to choose the map you want to play next. And what else do they have? I also wanted like more weapons, more customization stuff, and one of the things I kind of mentioned was maybe a better campaign because it was kind of confusing. It was kind of like you get distracted with the whole battle scene and stuff. So those are my reasons why I gave it like a lower score. I give it. I mean, like I said, it's a good game. It's fun. But yeah, I think I gave it like an 8 out of 10 or 8.5 out of 10. I don't remember what it was, but I think it was an 8 out of 10. But yeah, I don't understand if it's anything below like a 7 or whatever, unless you went unless you went in like playing a game expecting to see a campaign, but you were kind of like an idiot for not knowing that because they've said this from the very beginning. It's going to be only multiplayer because they said this game requires online. You can't play the game without Xbox Live, or I should say internet. So yeah. Alright guys, I'm going to end this long rant video because it's almost like 20 minutes. So the video is like 17. It's like almost 18 minutes or whatever. So yeah, sorry for this long rant. I just had to like express myself, share my words, yeah. So sorry if I offended you, Sony phony guys, whatever. Just come on, man. Like, just grow up already. And I'm probably gonna receive like a lot of bash because I talk so much shit in this video. But I'm just speaking the truth. And yeah. Alright guys. Thank you for listening to my long ass rant. And sorry for cussing. It's just these phony guys, man. You're crazy. Alright, thank you for watching and bye.